Happy Thanksgiving!
I fucking hate
Yeah,
Thanksgiving.
gobble, gobble, gobble. Welcome back,
Fuck Thanksgiving,
Touchy,
dude.
Fili. Are you live on Instagram?
I'm not. I'm just throwing out a little post telling people to call in.
Call in if you have any questions or you want to.
Let's argue about Thanksgiving.
Well,
why it sucks.
Today is Thanksgiving right now.
Yeah, I know.
Um,
I'm painfully aware.
Call in 916 or 250-2571 916-250-2571. This is still up to grabs. We know that. You see this?
Someone win this fucking shirt, please.
Did you see this thing?
I didn't yet.
Look at that. It's a nice
That's
post.
hard as hell, dude.
That is bad. That's you
tight.
and that's me. Two fucking badasses.
Yeah, dude.
That is badass as it comes.
Yeah, dude.
Um,
You could really tell we had a bright future. Like when you look at that, you're just like, these kids are gonna do great things.
what do you think? You see overachiever here,
Yeah.
and you see tons of pussy right here.
Yeah, for sure, dude.
That's all
Exactly.
you see.
You look like Andrew Dice Clay's bastard son, dude. Like he just came rolling through town and fucking got somebody pregnant and left and never came back, dude. Like whose fucking gloves are those? Whose gloves are those, dude?
So since today is Thanksgiving, I thought we should talk about Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving fucking sucks.
You hate Thanksgiving, right?
Thanksgiving sucks, dude.
Why? What's wrong with Thanksgiving?
Just sucks.
Like, okay, it sucks because you don't like spending time with friends and family. Is that what you don't? You don't like
I love
eating
spending
delicious
time with friends
food?
and family. I love eating delicious food. Just the whole it just sucks.
Is this like a political statement by you?
No. Although that's not wrong either, dude.
That's not wrong.
I mean, it's not wrong to hate Thanksgiving for political reasons. Like, there's plenty of reasons, I'm sure, but it's just lame. It's boring.
That is wrong, by the way.
It's boring. I disagree, but for now, we'll stay to this. It's boring. It's boring. That's the number one thing.
Oh, well,
And
maybe you're just not doing fun things.
And it's boring. It's a big fucking headache. You usually have to go hang out with people you don't really want to hang out with. Like, I make a point. I'm real close with my friends and some of my family I'm real close with. So, like,
Yeah.
the people that I'm close with, like, I try to make a point to spend time with them if I can. I'm not great at it, but, like, I don't need Thanksgiving to spend time with friends and family. And the food's not that good.
What do you mean?
Thanksgiving
the
food's not that good, dude.
What do you mean?
I've had good Thanksgiving food, and it's just, like,
pecan pie?
not that good.
What?
Like, mashed potatoes are just, like, whatever.
Mashed potatoes are good.
They're good.
I put a lot of butter and sour cream in
Yeah, they're
mine.
good, but they're not like fucking mashed potatoes. Like, they're just like.
But you can have anything you want. Like some Makuni sushi would be badass for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, but we're talking about Thanksgiving though, like traditional
Thanksgiving
Thanksgiving
food?
food. We're talking about traditional Thanksgiving food, which is not as tight as everyone says it is. It's all,
All right.
hype.
Well, so I mean, you have to qualify what are the foods that you're not. Mashed potatoes are good.
Turkey.
Stuffing's pretty good.
Stuffing is weird.
Why is that weird?
It's just weird. This whole thing is just, it's not that cool, man.
It is weird that you only eat stuffing one time a year.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like a bunch of. It's basically just cut up bread with like.
It's
with
mushy bread.
with like animal juices on it.
It's fucking weird, dude.
But it's delicious though.
It's not that good, dude. It's okay.
You probably haven't had good stuff.
Yeah, maybe that's it. But it's not that fucking good. And everyone eats. It's like, we're gonna eat dinner at 2 p.m.
Yeah,
like, why?
Yeah, it is.
Why are we
that
eating
is
dinner?
weird that you eat at
What
2
the
p.m.
fuck are we doing around here, dude? Like, the whole thing
Yeah.
is just nonsense.
You're convincing me. It's kind of it does.
It's
kinda
just
sound-
not that cool. Like, we're gonna do the exact same thing and also give each other gifts in like a month. So why don't we just
Here's
stop?
some classic dishes. Let's see what are some classic dishes. Let's look at those. I'll tell you if they're good or not. Oh, we have to go through. Oh, no, we're not clickbaiting that bullshit.
Nope.
Okay.
Fucking sucks. Thanksgiving sucks. We're arguing about Thanksgiving. Fuck Thanksgiving. Call in and convince us otherwise.
I may have. I will concede to this, and maybe this is what you're talking about. What I don't like about Thanksgiving is the formalities of it.
Yeah.
The
ceremony of it. It's just.
Yeah, and I think like you have to all sit down at a table.
Might as well be church.
You know what? Maybe you're convinced. Well, this is what I started a tradition last year.
Yeah.
You ready for this one?
I'm ready.
There's a nice restaurant in Tahoe called the Lone Eagle Grill, and you could bring that up if you want to see what that is. and it's connected to the Hyatt Regency there.
Okay.
And I just go up there, and then they have this fucking badass. There it is, right there. Look at that, Fili. See, it's right there on Lake Tahoe. It's
wow, that is nice.
Yeah, and then you could just go, and they have like a fucking giant buffet.
Yeah.
And it has like 50. It has like, I don't know, 100. Yeah, there it is. That's everything that's on it. Has like a whole cheese platter. Yeah, and then I just go to I go up there on Wednesday night, eat there on Thursday, go get like massages and do some hikes or whatever, and go on to Lake Tahoe, and then that's it. So now that's my
sage and garlic roasted tom turkey sounds delicious.
Yeah, savory prosciutto and some shaved fennel, whatever the fuck that is.
Yeah.
So that's.
Can you scroll back up to the seafood corner?
Yeah, I mean it has everything that you need to know on there. So that's and I made it an edict last Thanksgiving is that I'm gonna do that.
There's some good bread.
Oh yeah, it's nonstop, bro.
Nice.
That's what you call no punk ball.
Yeah.
That ain't no punk ball right there for sure, goddamn it. So that's what I'm doing for my Thanksgiving. So you need to do something like that.
But the thing is, it's good quality food because I'm skeptical.
I mean, it's a restaurant. This ain't no bullshit fucking stovetop stuff.
Because this is my thing, bro. I've like basically sworn off buffets because it's always quantity over quality.
Well, I mean, this is a fucking $110 buffet.
Yeah, it's a pretty fucking expensive.
So
buffet.
it ain't no punk ball.
It
ain't no punk ball. I mean, this is like a high level restaurant. I mean, they got fucking celery root creme. Whatever the fuck that is.
Cream fraiche.
So, and they got like, I mean, they're serving fucking roasted duck.
Oh, wow.
Trout.
Yeah.
Roasted trout.
They got any burgers?
What? They got any what?
Got any burgers?
Beer?
Burger.
Oh, no burgers there.
A burger. I don't want to.
I mean, they got fucking dried apricots in there, dude.
I don't fuck apricots, dude.
Yeah, who fucking knows what that is? Nobody.
Yeah, I saw that and was like, well, that's almost what I want.
So
I'm telling people to argue with us right now because I think I'm starting to convince you that it kind of sucks, and I want to see if I can convince some other people.
Well, okay.
I'm starting an army.
If we're gonna rank it on the level of other holidays, I will succeed. I will succeed. Was that the right word?
Secede? No.
I don't know.
You'll acknowledge.
I'll say you have an argument there.
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing.
It's
but
redundant. We're going to do the same thing.
This is my Thanksgiving, though.
No, this is cool.
When you say Thanksgiving sucks, I'm like, well, dude, I'm not going to be able to get a fucking massage on Lake Tahoe.
You know what I fucking mean.
So
you know what I mean.
I know what I see what you're
Traditional Thanksgiving is redundant. We're going to do the same exact thing in
Watch
a month.
Football or something.
Yeah, we're going to do the same thing in a month, and it's going to be Christmas, which is the coolest holiday hands down.
Yeah.
And True. I don't give a fuck about football either. That's a whole other thing. I just can't care about any of the things that people are stoked about on Thanksgiving. And the worst part, maybe I am the bad guy, maybe I'm in the wrong, but when it's Thanksgiving and I'm the one that doesn't like it's just lame to me, then I'm in a room full of other people like, why don't you like Thanksgiving? It's like, get off, leave me alone. I'm already sitting in your fucking house.
Oh, so you're saying you don't like the people that you're hanging out with?
That's not what I'm saying. It's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that people love Thanksgiving, and that's their right to.
And then,
I feel bad sitting in a room like, I don't really like this, and then they're all like, I like this so much. Why don't you like it? And it's like, I'll fake it. I'll try. Like I almost feel bad about not liking it because everyone else likes it. But it's like, when there's a band, like Thanksgiving feels like being at a concert of a band that you just don't really like, but everyone around you loves it, and you're just like, fuck. I'm trying to fight. I'm here with you guys, but like you don't want to be there and you don't like the music and you want to just like I want to sit down and be
you need to pretend that you are. You don't want to be the dickhead.
You don't want to ruin your friends or your girlfriend's good time because they love this band. Yeah. And like that's another big thing.
All right. Well, anybody that is in Fili's immediate life, don't just excommunicate him from Thanksgiving. Just do him a favor and get him out of the situation.
It's all right.
Actually, no, this is all a joke. He's just joking.
I love it. Yeah, I love everybody. I love everybody. No, it's like this is the thing. It's like obviously I'm like a sensationalist prick, and I'm always like whatever I'm talking about is it's like I'm all animated and whatever. But like no, anyone who invites me to their home, anyone I've ever shared a Thanksgiving with, like I obviously appreciate it. Like to sit and break bread with the people you love and care about. Like I understand why.
But what's the difference of that than someone's birthday?
Right. Like
or a fucking Tuesday.
I like if you've ever invited me into your or Tuesday, exactly. Like it's literally on a Thursday. Like it's a Thursday holiday. Like and it's not even like a Thursday holiday sometimes. Like it's always the last Thursday. Like it's just so fucking vanilla. I don't know, man. It's like but anyone who's invited me into their home and fed me for any reason, especially on a holiday that's important to them, I really fucking appreciate it. Like all jokes aside, it means a lot. But it's the ceremony of it. It's the fucking like. Can we just let's just get some food.
And that's the thing. Like you know what? And I haven't. You know, kind of. I'm just reflecting on my Thanksgiving history because of wrestling, and for my whole life, Thanksgiving has always been kind of a bittersweet thing because like you could never. It's like. It's actually always brought up like anxiety and stuff because you can't really eat because you're just starting wrestling season. You got probably some matches coming up the next week or the week after that. So it's always been this kind of like throwaway holiday for, especially in my life most of the time. And then like
I can see that
over the last couple of years that like the only things that I've done for Thanksgiving was literally I think just went over to Faber's house and played Risk. 100%. For most of the time and kicked his ass all the time in it.
Yeah.
But
you do like to kick Faber's ass at Risk.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at that. I call it the
scorched earth policy.
In my Risk strategy, I use a barbarian horde technique where I load up all my armies in one country and just keep building it up, and then I just attack once and then do a blitzkrieg throughout the whole and just like spread out.
Just a warmonger.
Yeah, I'm like the Seljuks, bro.
I'm not familiar.
No. Oh well. But
I thought you were gonna go like a Genghis Khan.
Yeah, everybody. See, you know, if you know your history, you know who the Seljuks are.
I thought I did, but I don't. Obviously,
no. It's like the first caliphate. That's what I do, bro. Sure. But yeah, I see where you're going, and maybe that's why I subconsciously created my own Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Doing your own thing, creating your own traditions is cool no matter what. Yeah. Like I'm a big fan of that. Like whether it's for Thanksgiving or not, but it's just like and you gotta dress up. You don't have to dress up, but you like are sort of expected to dress up a little nice and fucking right. And it's just like, and you know, like I didn't grow up with like a big family around me. Like my friends were very much my family, so most of the Thanksgivings that I've had, I was wrestling or I was getting ready for a fight.
Yeah.
I understand the making weight thing. And then, you know, when I could enjoy the holiday, it was usually like someone's house that wasn't like it might be different when I have kids and it's
your house.
But like I was always the plus one. I've been any real Thanksgiving I've ever been to, I've been like the plus one of like my girlfriend brings me to her great uncle's house, and she has a family of 30 people, and they're like, I remember like one time, I'm like the fucking grandpa from Talladega Nights, like when things are going too smooth, like
shut up, Chip.
Yeah, I just like no the other one, not the one that gets yelled at, the race car.
Bobby.
Yeah. Like when things are going, like he's like, you want to get kicked out of an Applebee's? Like when things are getting too Leave It to Beaver, I just want to fucking throw everything off the table. Like, I went to.
I said no mushroom or no onions on my damn steak.
Dude, I went to Thanksgiving once with a girl I was dating at the time, and she's a sweet girl. She's an amazing person, and her family are amazing people, very nice people. And
it was just too wholesome for you.
I went, and the food was honestly delicious. It actually was really delicious. And I'm not a Thanksgiving food guy. The food was delicious. There was like 40 members in the family, and everyone liked everybody, and like there was no arguing, and like everyone was like happy to see everyone, and it was so cool, and I was so thankful to be a part of it. And it was just like, holy shit, you know, like this is like some shit out of the movies. Like I didn't even think this was real, and it was cool, but like by the time we had said the prayer, and done the dinner and met every family member, and we were all sitting around after dinner watching like home videos of vacations and stuff. Like I was getting twitchy, dude. I was like,
that's a little much, man.
I was just like, no, the whole family did it. It was like 30 people in a living room watching old home videos. I mean, like, and I'm doing this shit, like my eyes twitching.
You're like 6 hours into it now or something?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, like, I mean,
it was hard, but I had to put on the brave face, you know. Like I'm not going to be
tough one. That's
you'd be like, oh yeah, she brought her. I almost said her name. It probably wouldn't have been good. She's like, oh, she brought her boyfriend over with neck tattoos and a missing tooth, and he left early. Like you're not going to be. You don't want to be.
You don't want to be the dick.
You don't want to be an asshole. So you're like, yeah, sure, I'll watch
this.
You
just fake an injury though. You always do that.
But that's what I'm saying though. Is it's one of those things where you're like, I know going into this, like I'm gonna want to leave in 30 minutes, and I'm not gonna be able to. Like I got dressed for this, you know. Like
sure. No, I hear you on that. I hear you on that, and I like stuff with acute endings, should we say? So
yeah.
like
when the party's over, the party's over.
Yeah, with an ambiguous way that you don't know when it's going to end or what's going to fit, or what's like next. That brings me into
you like to have your plan planned out.
Dinner is from 2 to 4, and then we have an hour of socializing after it. That's it. We're done. You know,
like everyone needs to be out of here by 6.
Yes, it's a hard cutoff.
See, that's the thing. It's not the hard. I think I like, especially like if it's a party, you got to have like for me. I'm like, you don't have to leave by any time. It's natural. Like it'll die out when it dies out. But like, I guess maybe because it's like, I think I realized I got to the root of the problem. We got a caller. What up?
Hello.
Yo.
Hey, let me finish this thought, and we'll be right with you.
Now I want to talk about
hold tight real quick.
The legitimacy of Thanksgiving too.
Okay. So just to finish my thought, I think maybe as I'm talking about it, I realize maybe it's because the context of my Thanksgiving is like I'm always like a +1. Like I'm not. It's never my immediate family.
Yeah. It's not your Thanksgiving. It's someone else's Thanksgiving.
So like
I hear you.
There's this weird obligation, you know.
I'm with you.
I don't like that. I don't like to be weirdly obligated.
Yeah.
How you doing, brother? What's your name?
Steve.
What's up, Steve? How do you feel about Thanksgiving?
It feels like it's forced on you.
Yeah, seems like it's forced on you.
Yeah.
That about fucking sums it up. Seems like it's forced on you. It's the fucking whole ceremony of it. You might as well be in church.
It's for chicks, dude.
Thanksgiving's
for chicks. What it comes down to,
like,
I mean, the whole world is. I mean, if you really think about, the whole world's built for chicks when it comes down to it. Everything's done for girls. But that's a different point. I could get that.
We should get back to that for sure.
What do you got something you want to talk about, Steve?
Yeah. I have a question. If you clean a vacuum cleaner, does that make you a vacuum cleaner?
If you clean a vacuum cleaner, does that make you a vacuum cleaner?
I think it makes you a vacuum. I think it makes you an appliance, a janitorial appliance technician.
I would say yes. You are a vacuum cleaner.
Fuck yeah!
That's all I really wanted to say.
Fuck yeah!
That's it, Steve.
All right, Steve. See, Steve's the kind of guy that would have.
Steve just won the shirt,
dude. Steve's the kind of guy who would be out by 4.
Yeah,
like he'd come over, he'd have a nice time, and he'd be fucking out by 4.
Oh man,
you're all right, Steve. You can call back anytime.
Since you've said you're leaving, if you said you wanted to win the shirt, that question would have won the shirt.
So, I want to win the shirt then.
Too late now. Sorry.
Don't let him.
We got some stickers for you,
Steve. Don't let him fucking trap you, dude. I don't think anyone's gonna win this shirt ever. At this point, it's just a weird thing. It's like it's the carrot and the stick thing. But
shoot us a message on Instagram. We'll give you some stickers.
We're gonna send you some stuff.
All right.
Thanks, dude.
So I gotta send you my Instagram handle or what?
Yeah, go hit us up on Instagram.
In the chat, there should be a chat. If you go on the Touchy Subject Show website, there'll be a chat. Just enter in. My name is Steve. I talk about vacuum cleaners. Here's my Instagram handle.
All right, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right.
Big fan.
Fuck, thanks, dog.
So Thanksgiving, traditionally,
I'm gonna be right back. I'm listening, but this is making my OCD go crazy. I'm gonna be right back.
What?
I'm still with you.
Fili's just walking away. He's looking at his keys. And he just put his keys back down.
Honestly, a man can only take so much.
And now he has his. That was a weird thing.
No, it just had to be done, dude.
Your keys?
I got
The
little
things.
tool on my. Shout out to my buddy Reed. He gave me this like tool.
Yeah, I need that on mine right
This is
here.
pretty sick, dude. He gave me this little tool. I think he works for. He sells tools. I think he might work for DeWalt. I don't remember. But shout out to my buddy Norman Reedus. That's what I call him. His name's Reed, not actual Norman Reedus. But he gave me this tool. I was like, I don't fix things. I don't do man stuff like fix shit.
Yeah.
Like, I'll never use a tool, but I use it all the fucking time now. It's
pretty good.
Yeah, man, it's fucking.
So Thanksgiving has
look at that superior microphone control now.
has traditionally always been a. All right, I can do this later. It's been a harvest festival.
Yeah.
I mean, that's throughout all time. So, I mean, we've called it Thanksgiving, and somehow it got convoluted to be something to do with Native Americans and stuff, us and Native Americans.
Yeah.
But, it's the fall harvest. You have a fall and spring harvest, essentially. Yeah. Easter's the spring harvest, and fall Thanksgiving is fall harvest. And that's throughout all cultures, pagans.
Yeah, I was going to say, basically every modern holiday we have stems from a pagan ritual. Right?
Or what, even Buddhists have that.
Right,
I know Japan.
Right.
Japan, they have their sumo tournament every year
yeah.
to celebrate their harvest. They have it once every spring.
Sumo wrestling's badass, dude. People don't give sumo wrestling enough credit.
We should get into that one day because we'll get into that whole tradition.
Get into sumo wrestling or get
we'll
into
talk
sumo
about
wrestling?
We'll talk about what sumo.
We should compete at a sumo wrestling tournament.
We should.
Yeah, dude.
Okay, we'll do that.
Like there's American sumo tournaments.
But
just sign up.
Yeah, there you
it's
go.
like Greco in a fucking diaper.
You just push them out of the ring.
I'll fucking toss somebody. I'll grab them right by their waistband, dude.
Yeah. I saw that. I've seen the Fili lateral drop.
I'll do it,
that
dude.
thing ain't no joke.
I'll fucking do it, dude. I bring the hurt.
So Thanksgiving. So that's what it's been traditionally. That's
Yeah.
why you just eat a bunch of food, because you just harvest everything. It's a little. I mean, I don't know if you're going to eat all your food on the first day, though. But I guess
Probably not the best plan. Yeah.
But
we're going to eat real good today, and we'll wait till spring for the next one.
But people have tried to convolute Thanksgiving as this. It's bad because we've committed genocide on the Native Americans, and it's an illegitimate holiday. It's basically to shit on Americans that founded the country and stuff to illegitimize. And I think that's complete bullshit.
I mean
I guess there's a lot to unwrap in that, or
yeah, I would say that there's probably something to the idea that the story's been convoluted and that it was a pagan holiday or just an ancient holiday for
that's what I'm saying. More recently, I
will say that I do think there was. I do think that there's been a lot of atrocities committed against Native people, and that it's legit.
I don't think so.
Of course you don't, but I think it's a legitimate sentiment to have. But I don't know if rallying against Thanksgiving is the thing to do.
People do that though.
I understand 100%.
Right.
I'm saying that it's a legitimate sentiment to have that the indigenous people were wronged numerous times, and there's plenty of broken trees and all kinds of horrible things. But I don't know if rallying against Thanksgiving. I don't know if Thanksgiving is the thing to stand against. But you might know this. So Thanksgiving stems from a pagan harvest celebration. But did the Pilgrims, when they came to America, did they celebrate Thanksgiving? Did they celebrate the same? I mean, because you're saying the story is not that. You're saying the story of the Pilgrims and natives sitting down and sharing a feast is not true.
I don't know if it's not true.
I thought that's what you were saying by saying it's been convoluted.
Well, no, I think it's been convoluted in saying that we shouldn't be able to celebrate Thanksgiving because of all the atrocities we committed on the Native Americans.
Yeah, I think they're probably a little more they're probably two separate things. I think that there were atrocities and committed against the Native Americans.
See, this is the way I view history. So, and this is kind of I don't see. I see there's been atrocities I don't. When I look in the past, and when I look at history, I don't look at it as a power dynamic. And this is kind of like how much, like, I guess, postmodernism or Marxism has percolated throughout our culture. I see there has been. Okay, what about all the Native American tribes that that were wiped off the face of the earth by other Native American tribes?
Yeah.
So should we celebrate that? Like, so I mean, if you want to go and play this power dynamic of, well, since one person had committed one makes their position illegitimate. Well, you can just go back to that game all the way to the fucking
the first victim and the first perpetrator,
or the first animal that they killed. I mean, at one point, at that point, then you don't believe in the fucking food chain.
Yeah, but the food chain is also a power dynamic. Like, I'm saying, that's both things. Like,
the food chain is not a power dynamic. It's a symbiotic relationship. So, like, if you kill all the fucking mosquitoes, then it doesn't. Or I don't know.
If deer could eat wolves, they would, right? Like, there's definitely something to do with, like, who has the power to feast on the other people. Like, there's definitely a power dynamic.
Yeah, but it doesn't make that deer more important than the wolves.
It doesn't make
it just makes it ability to eat that.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's.
But what about all the grass that's there that the deer eat?
This is what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying you're completely wrong. Caller, how's it going?
All right, let's finish our thought.
Give us just a sec. You're on the line. We'll talk to you in just a minute, dude.
Okay.
Like, I get what you're saying about the symbiotic relationship. I understand, and I'm actually with you on. Yeah, there have been atrocities committed. There have been atrocities committed since the dawn of time. Like the Persians, being fucking. Well, you look at so someone's talking about the Persians were the bad guys in the story in the 300, right?
Sure.
Obviously, it's a movie; it's not a story.
But
when you tell the story of Persians invading Greece, they're the bad guy.
Sure.
But then if you heard the Persians talk about how it was before they became the biggest empire in the world, and they were under the Assyrian rule, and it was miserable, and people were being murdered for no reason. Like, there have always been bad people. There's always been slavery, and there's always been rape, and there's always been murder, and there's always been people doing. Humans have been horrible to people for the history of as long as humans have been together.
See, but I wouldn't even use I want to use the adjective horrible, but go ahead.
I would use the adjective horrible.
In our current context, yeah, but go ahead.
No, but in any context, raping and murdering is horrible. It doesn't matter if it's widely accepted that that's it's still
horrible.
I
mean, that's like saying a fucking a mink is horrible to a badger or whatever.
No, it's not, because we're talking about human beings.
I know we're talking about human beings, but you're talking.
It's different. You have the capacity to understand right and wrong, where like a wolf has to eat.
Yeah, but I mean,
you have to eat, but
you don't know what the capacity of a fucking a Persian was in the year 400 BC.
What I'm saying is, like, reducing us to animals.
Well, we are fucking animals.
We are, but reducing us to being animals other than humans lowers up. Like, it's basically like a free pass. Like, well, people can just be shitty. What I'm saying is, I think that you're too easy.
That's a straw man.
I think that you saying that we've all, like, you saying, well, atrocities have always been committed. It's like, that doesn't diminish the atrocities that just happened where we're from a couple hundred years ago. Like,
yeah, it does.
It doesn't diminish it. It does not diminish it.
Yeah, it does.
It doesn't. No, it doesn't, because it just happened. Like, if you look at it on a macro level, it just happened. It matters. Like people whose great grandparents were possibly raped or murdered or made sick or transported illegally or had trees broken against them. Like, it just happened. Like that, it does matter. Yeah. Like, I will say that on a I say that people are overly sensitive.
I'm not going to sit here and say it was a good thing, but I'm not going to sit here. I'm not going to sit here and judge their behavior. So whatever that may be, it was the behavior that the quote unquote horrible behavior that they had. I don't put a value on that. I mean, if it happened right now, I would put a value on it. But when I look at back in the day, if I look at
but context is important. What's back in the day? Like,
let's just talk about Thanksgiving.
Like,
we have settlers came here. They came onto a land, and if a land was, let's say, occupied by an Indian tribe, if there couldn't
caller, stay with us. We'll be with you
if
in a
there
minute.
wasn't a peaceful resolution to it, it may have resulted in bloodshed, right?
That may have resulted in bloodshed, or it did result. I think you're like you're.
Well, I'm giving you a scenario. I'm giving you a scenario, right?
Right.
There's been incidences where
people have fought over land forever.
They came there. Sometimes there was a treaty. Hey, we're gonna farm the land. We're gonna give it to you. You let us live on it. There's been bloodshed where, hey, we need this. I'm gonna kill you.
But there have been treaties signed and broken.
And there's been treaties signed. It's been broken. There's been a lot of different scenarios
that
has happened.
But I'm saying that I guess so to me, what you're saying is
what I'm saying is to judge.
That was far enough away to go.
I'm saying to judge one or the other as bad versus good. So you're going to say the settlers were bad and the Native Americans.
That's not what I'm saying.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
But I'm saying that the acts perpetrated by the American government, for sure, a lot of them were bad. I think you can objectively say that signing a treaty and then breaking it, that's bad. Like that's you were the bad guy in that situation.
Yeah, I mean, you could say that if you put that on there, but also at the same time, well, was it bad if it meant that it's going to sustain our way of life more?
Like we get iPhones,
whatever it is, whatever it is.
I'm with you. It's not lost on me. I'm not some SJW
but we're gonna put judgment on that based on our own perspective now, and I think that's wrong. I think it's bullshit.
So like everyone in history gets a pat. Like where's the cutoff? Like when is
the
cutoff?
There is no cutoff. I see all of history, even current day history. It's all about interest and whoever's interest in there. So when
people should be held accountable the way that they pursue those interests.
But we're only holding them accountable for our perspective within our interest.
True, for sure.
So
just like we'll be judged in 100 years by those kids. And
that's what I'm saying.
And we should be. We
shouldn't be.
You should be held accountable for the way you pursue your interests.
No, we shouldn't.
Caller, what do you think? Where you at? Where you at on this?
I'm just trying to figure out if you're coming to training on Tuesday or not.
I told you what the deal was, man. I told you. We're talking about genocide of indigenous people.
This gentleman?
We have a strict no MMA talk on this show, sir.
Who's this guy? You know him?
Is that it?
This is Coach K of the infamous CSA gym.
Did he call in before?
I believe so.
He's a true Touchy Subjects fan.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Well, you going to practice on Saturday or what?
I'm going Tuesday. I'm going to practice Tuesday.
He's going to practice on Tuesday. But listen. We're going to talk about the massacre of indigenous people. I'm going to agree with both of you.
Thank you.
And here's how I'm going to agree. Here's how I'm going to agree with both of you.
When he says,
I agree with Studboy. It's Studboy, right?
Correct, sir.
How someone with a name like Studboy even gets a valid opinion on this topic is beyond me, but we'll run with it.
Well, technically, my name is Sir Studboy, so I don't know if my knighted.
Your argument isn't any better, but I agree with you, and I agree with you as it follows. And Fili, you said it already. It's been going on since the dawn of man. It is human nature to conquer. With that said, you're either a good person or you're a bad person. You either have good intention or bad intention. And as far as conquering a foreign land, does that make you a good person or a bad person? That's for you to decide. Raping and murdering people, yeah, you're a fucking shitbag. It's that simple.
True. And I'll say this. I will say this.
Okay, let me ask you this question.
The times where trees were being broken, men, women, and children were being murdered defenselessly. The times where these things have happened was not that long ago. It was long ago. It was recent enough.
The trees are always being broken.
Right, but what I'm saying is this specific example in America where we live was close enough to judge. If you go, okay, you can't judge a Genghis Khan for all that. Okay, cool, maybe. You can't judge a fucking caveman. You can't judge the Assyrians or the Persians. But you can fucking judge people in the 1900s. Like, they were close enough to us where their thought processes were very similar. Like, you can't question their capacity to know if raping and murdering was bad. They knew raping and murdering was bad.
Let me ask you, and gentlemen, what's the gentleman's name again?
Kieran Fitzgibbons, Coach K.
Coach K. and you both can answer this.
Sir, that is Sir Coach K to you.
Sir Coach K. Okay, Sir Coach K. Raping and murdering is bad, yes. If you went out and raped and murdered somebody, that's bad.
Right.
Now, if raping and murdering somebody, or say if it's a village or a group of people, meant the survival of your family and everyone that you know, if those are the two options, is raping and murdering wrong? Is the termination of your, say, gene pool, is it wrong to terminate someone else's gene pool on the behalf of your own gene pool?
Coach, can I go real? I'm gonna go real quick, and I'm gonna let you go. Just give me. I gotta just. First of all, I don't know if rape is ever the answer, especially like, and I don't know if.
Well, you didn't.
I don't know.
Say if.
What is
okay,
rape?
I'll get.
What is
okay, say 70% of the males within your tribe, should we call it, had died in the last war because you got raided by the Romans. So now you have a distinct less gene pool of males in.
So I will say that in my opinion it's still wrong, but the biggest takeaway from your example is we're not talking about Romans and we're not talking about, we're talking about people who lived a couple hundred years ago.
Okay,
they weren't facing extinction. They were not facing extinction.
Yeah. But the problem that you're thinking about is that we're always facing extinction. We're not facing extinction. We live in a comfortable world right now. That's because we have a surplus of resources, but that can change very, very quickly.
For sure, but you have to think, like, these are settlers who came from a country 5-8 times smaller than America. There's plenty of room. The fact that they kept pushing west, the fact that they kept raping and murdering, they kept breaking trees. There was no threat of, like, putting the railroad from coast to coast is not the same as our bloodline will die out if we don't have more kids. It's not the same thing. Coach, go ahead.
There are quantifiable studies that show that there were statistically chosen rapes to keep the bloodline going for warriors. This is news to me.
Well, you're saying that I gave a scenario that's possible. Now, I mean, I don't know. I haven't done my quantified studies recently on it.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to disagree with you on that. I'm going to say at no time in the history of man have we decided that we were going to rape in the act of war. All we are doing is relieving stress, animalistic side, letting the warriors get off. Nobody raped that woman, held her in pregnancy, took that baby and raised it as a warrior across a grand scheme of lands.
Also, you can concede that the majority of births were products of rape for a good part of our history.
A good part of our history, but not in the 1900s, which is what we're talking. This specific example.
I wouldn't. 1900. I wouldn't say that necessarily.
You're still going to argue that in the 1900s most people were born via rape?
Yeah, it depends on what. It depends on what culture you're talking about.
We're not talking about the savage land here. We're
talking
about
just
America.
Saying,
we're talking about America,
not America.
Not that long ago.
We're not talking. I'm saying. You want to put judgment on people or, different cultures, different times. If you take, say, sub-Saharan Africa in the early 1900s, it was still a very primitive area that didn't have a system of law.
My question is,
yeah. I can't speak upon how that works.
I get on a fringe level.
Sure.
I understand I understand your devil advocacy here of what you're saying. I get it at a fringe level. But I disagree wholeheartedly that rape was a mechanism other than anything of evil people. That's my point in that, right? So I'll give you that having to kill one's enemies was acceptable at a certain time for that empowerment of a certain group. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying I agree with you that was acceptable. Like, I have friends that are Palestinian, and I have friends that are Israeli. And I can listen to a Palestinian friend of mine tell me about the occupation and everything, and I literally would come away from it hating all Jews. And then I'll listen to my Israeli friends tell me about the horrors and atrocities that the Palestinians have done, and I'm coming out hating all Palestinians. And that's happening right now.
Yeah.
So I understand not wanting to judge a certain population because one population thinks it's right, one population thinks it's wrong, but I will say unequivocally that I think the murder of children and the rape of women is never the act of a good person or a good segment of population. Or exactly. So that's my opinion on the matter for what it's worth.
I like it.
And Sir Studboy, it was a privilege to talk to you. Fili,
Privilege
I'm
is
going
all
to eat one
mine,
for you
sir.
tonight.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Thanks for calling in.
Thank you for adding. This is probably the first call we've had to actually add to the conversation, to be honest with you. But we really appreciate it.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Good night, gentlemen.
All
Later,
right.
brother.
All right. I think on that we wrap it up.
Can I say one more thing?
Go ahead, shoot.
Because I thought about this.
Because we got to talk about monarchies.
We got some shit.
And we got Montezuma and the Cortez. We got a lot. We'll talk about that on next episode. But what do you finish this off?
The last thing I wanted to ask is, and you can answer this or you can think about it, and we can talk about it more next week. You're saying it's not right for us to sit here in our position now and judge people of the past. But my question is, if you don't make a judgment on the people's actions of the past, how do you then know the right way to proceed in the future?
Okay.
How do you adjust and make the world you want to live in if you don't judge the wrongdoings of the people?
Okay. I will rephrase what I mean by not judging them. We can only judge them in our context, in the way. I do not believe, and I'll say, okay, we saw I'm trying to think of a good example of just things, burning witches at the stake. Okay,
Right.
It's a very obvious one. That was done because we didn't have any science. There was
religious fanaticism.
Religious fanaticism or whatever the reason they have done. You can look at that and say that was something bad to do. And yes, we can look back at that and judge that behavior, should we say. But I guess what I'm saying is that we can't say that because of things that we've done in the past, now we must pay retribution for it or must behave in a way that will somehow rectify what things were done in the past. Now, I would say going forward, yes, we shouldn't rape and kill people. Yes, we shouldn't burn witches at the stake or whatever that may be, and we can learn from tactical errors in the past. Yes, but the idea of that we're going to look at the past to somehow delegitimize or impose guilt on people or somehow use it in a way to wield power over other people is that's where I say we should draw a line, and then you can't judge up to that point, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, and Native Americans were European anyway. So next week,
I'd love to argue that some more.
Next week, episode 15, come back. Go to touchysubjectshow.com. Touchy Subject Show, or show, right? touchysubjectsshow.com. Jason, Jose, you guys have anything? You guys good? You got anything?
Native Americans were Native American, and Epstein didn't kill himself.
You learned all about Epstein last week. You know all about that.
I know
all right,
that, dude.
see you guys next week. Oh.